Welcome to Driven, the Unscripted Success Podcast, with your hosts, Mike Menino and Nareman Hamdan, bringing you insights and stories on achieving personal, professional, and financial success.
So, hey, everybody, I'm Nareman Hamdan. Welcome to Driven, Unscripted Success, where people come on here and share their experiences about their professional, personal, financial, and personal success. So we have today zooming in from Naples, Florida. We have Luanna Vizzone. She's originally from New Jersey. And, she's been in Naples, I think about 5 years or so, right, Luann?
Well, actually, we just moved here in January 2023.
Oh, wow. Oh, I thought you were here for a while. Holy moly. You really made a name for yourself down here.
Thank you.
Yeah, so a little bit about Luann. Luann's got her background is in real estate. She's been in the industry for about 20 plus years. She primarily works in the title business. So Luann, give us a little bit about your business and what you do.
We are a title company, that's correct. And when somebody purchases a home, it depends on, interestingly enough, in Florida, it is either Collier County is the buyer that pays for it. And so if there's a buyer purchasing a home and there's a lender involved, mortgage title insurance is mandatory. It's optional if it's cash, but we highly recommend it because what title is doing is making sure that the property you're buying is free and clear of anything, liens, judgments. And most of the rest of the state of Florida, including Lee, which is just north of us, Lee County, the seller pays for title. So it depends, but it's one of the most boring aspects of real estate, but it's the most important. It really is. It is. And it's based on the purchase price, what the premium is. And it's only a one-time premium. It's not something you have to pay every year, which people really don't realize either. And, for the cost, it's totally worth it.
That's great. Yeah. I mean, you want to make sure that the title is clear and that there's no surprises after you buy it. So
exactly,
makes absolute sense to basically dot your I's and cross your T's on all that. And who better than you and your team to help out with that and being so knowledgeable in the industry. So I know that there's a lot of competition in your business, in this title space that you're in. What sets you apart? What comes easy to you that others find pretty challenging?
I feel, you're right. I do come from New Jersey. I try to hide it. I try to hide the accent. But when I got down here, it was a little different for me. It was, attorneys, New Jersey, the attorney-based state. So that means attorneys work on the files and people hire attorneys to, represent them. And then the title company is separate. Here in Florida, attorneys own title companies. And that was a no-no in New Jersey. So when I got here, I couldn't wrap my head around that. I'm like, I don't understand. But they had escrow officers. So the attorney would get the file and they had escrow officers sitting there and doing the work. What I found was there wasn't a lot of customer service. It wasn't, I was hearing the lack of communication. Now in New Jersey, having said that, because the attorney did the work, was hired to represent the clients, the title company did all the work. We actually had sales teams that would go out and get business developers. So I was used to having a sales team and there were none down here. And what the sales team does is we're like the buffer in between the agent and the escrow officer, because the escrow officer can get very, very busy doing files all day long. And then it's very difficult for them to be working on a file and to answer a phone call when an agent would like to find out if there's something wrong on the file or if they didn't hear any back or whatever the case may be. As a business developer, we were the buffer. So we were in between. So my clients, I would say, listen, you need to call me. And that's what I'm here for. You don't need to wait for for a day or two to have somebody get back to you. That drives me crazy. So I saw in Florida there was a need for that. So my partner, who was from Ohio, Stacy, she had the same concept that we did in New Jersey. So when she was here, she realized there's no sales teams out here that can be that buffer for the customer service portion of the business. So we created a sales team, and everything else. Yeah, and everybody has their own clients. And I tell my clients all the time, don't wait for an escrow officer to call you back because they might be in a closing or they're doing a file. And it might be difficult for them. I mean, we have to be, pretty aware of what their job is too. So it might be a little difficult for them. So we're that person that is that in between. So if you need something, you let us know. We'll get it for you immediately.
I mean, that sounds like a big advantage that having the sales team, starting a sales team down here in Naples, which I mean, I'm in real estate and I've never even heard of title companies that have a sales team. You're right. You usually have to go to the escrow officer and they're so busy. I mean, sometimes it might take 2 or 3 days before they call you back. Well, what a great advantage that you have on other title companies, providing this service. And I'm sure it expedites the closing, the document, I mean, everything that's needed for the file.
And it also makes for less of an issue. So if there's an issue, we're going to find out about it right away, right? So because we communicate with our escrow officer as well. So your protocols in place that if there's something, an open permit, a lien, a judgment, let us know and we'll help you with that. This way the agent is taken care of and they don't have to worry about it. So we say to our agents, no news is good news, right? So unless we know something that's happening, but we'll be on it because now you have a team working on it, not just an escrow officer. So yeah, we're very proud of that because when I got here, that was one of the things that we heard. And we go further than that too. We do brokers opens for our agents. So if they're doing a brokers opens, we'll sponsor that for them. We bring the food and we help them. And we help them promote it. We do lunch and learns. We do, so we'll come in. We have an attorney on staff, which we saw that was a big need too, because there's title companies that don't have attorneys, but the attorneys own title companies. Right. So if you're in a title company, you really don't have an attorney because you're not an attorney, right? You just have a title company, but we saw the need for an attorney, so we got an attorney on staff as well.
That's fantastic. I mean, it just sounds like you guys got a pretty well-oiled machine there where everyone has their role and you've got a good process,
That's exactly right. That's exactly what we were looking for. So
yeah, which is fantastic. I mean, I don't know of any other title companies that are doing this. So I'm glad that's working out for you. If someone listening to us now wants to get better at, let's say what you're doing with the customer service aspect of it and having that team to facilitate, to be basically the what's the word I'm looking for? Liaison between the real estate agent broker and the escrow officer. What do you suggest they do and what tips would you give them?
Well, if I give up my secrets, everybody's going to feel a lot more.
Then you'd be back up in Jersey. No, I totally understand that. And you basically pretty much explained it. So it comes down to having a good team. So, what is one of the biggest challenges you've had to overcome in your career?
In my career or down here?
In your career altogether.
In my career. One of the biggest challenges is probably if I start out to do something, I have to finish it. So sometimes, and I know, sometimes that might be difficult because you have a family, you have, other things that you have to take care of, something, you have to learn how to manage it. So it's time management, in my opinion. So you have to learn how to do all of it because there's, it's just not your work. It's your work, it's your family, it's your friends, it's other things that you've done or doing in your life. So to put everything together on the same page and be successful at it all makes, time management, I think, is it's
Yeah. You have better get them organized. Yeah.
yeah.
For sure. So as we're wrapping up our interview, what exciting plans do you have in the works in the next 6 to 12 months?
We're continuing to grow. We are always looking for business developers. We want to spread out. My partner and I have the whole state of Florida. So Naples was the first branch office for First Source Title. They're a national company. So, we want to concentrate on an area at a time, but we would like to also, spread our wings and go to the neighboring counties, towns, and start putting business developers in those areas as well.
That's fantastic. Have you guys, so where are you just private? Well, you just said you started in Naples. So do you also go into Cape Coral, Fort Myers? I mean, like all of Southwest Florida, or are you just
all of Southwest Florida? Yes, exactly. So we do have the whole state of Florida that we can close on. We will go. We have a remote closure that'll go. We'll close anywhere, anytime is the motto. And yeah, we again, this is a national company that we're affiliated with. They close in 37 states. So Naples was their first branch office from the state of Florida.
Wow. So now let's say if you had someone in New York that, wanted to close a deal with you, with the company being in several other states, if someone comes to you to do their title work and help them out with purchasing a new home and they're in a different state, would you be able to help them as well? Or are you just in Florida?
We would be able to help them in New York.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Awesome. New Jersey as well. So again, we can close in 37 states. Those New York and New Jersey just happens to be two of the states that we can close in additionally.
Well, you've got quite the advantage there. That's
that's why we did.
Amazing. Well done. Well done. That's fantastic. So, I want to thank you so much, Luann, for your time today and sharing some insights and tips with us. If people would like to connect with you, what should they do?
My email is Vizzone, V as in Victor, Izzone at firstsourcetitle.com.
Awesome. So if anyone out there needs some title work or some help, shoot an email over to Luann, and she'll take care of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. And I will talk to you soon. We'll have you on the show again real soon to hear what the next progress is with your whole team and company.
Thank you. I would love it.
Thanks for listening to Driven, the Unscripted Success Podcast. Want to share your story? Apply to be a guest at drivensuccesspodcast.com/guest.